last topic, the COVID-19 situation in Japan, and what does the school do? So let's start with in Japan. I have just a little issue. I cannot go to the next slide. Yes, it works now. So why Japan? Nature festival is one of the big things that makes Japan such a great country to visit and to live in. So all year round there are so many different events and different events, so many landscapes to see, different regions, and yeah, definitely it's worth experiencing. Yeah. Then why Japan as well? Food. You probably already know some foods from Japan and you want to taste them in Japan. Then the traditions, of course, Japan has a unique culture, and yeah, so I guess there is no better opportunity to experience these things than in Japan. I guess you know some of these foods already, but if you don't know them, then it's worth coming to Japan to taste them. Everything is fine. Everything is good so far. I mean, in my own experience. Then there are people as well who want to work in Japanese companies. So in Japan or in their own country, and Japan is of course a very powerful economy, has a very powerful economy and very powerful companies. You see them behind me. And in various sectors. So yeah, that makes Japan a very attractive country as well. And I see Paul who says anime, and that's exactly what, I was going to talk about. So, of course, this makes Japan a very attractive country, and that makes also people want to learn Japanese. So, yeah, definitely, there are lots of characters, and this is not the only part of the Japanese pop culture. So let's talk now about the school. So the school is one of the most ancient schools in Tokyo, one of the oldest, with 46 years of experience. It has many certifications, so from the Ministry of Education, from the the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, the Association for the Promotion of Japanese Language Foundation. It also has a certification from ISO, which certifies the quality of our course of our language teaching. And also, the school is categorized as an educational foundation, which enables students to get the commuter pass, which makes transport much cheaper to go from home to school. The school is located in Takadanobaba, so in Tokyo, and in the neighborhood of Takadanobaba, which is a very famous student area and close to one big university, which is Waseda University. And it also has a great accessibility inside of Tokyo, so we'll see it right now. Takadanobaba is a station on the Yamanote line, and the Yamanote line is this round circle. It's a line that makes the whole round in Tokyo, and it's close to Shinjuku, Shibuya, also Ikebukuro, and also for the fans of animation and pop culture, quite close to Akihabara. Yes. So it's very easy to go and commute to the school. So about our students, so before the coronavirus crisis, there were more than 500 students from many countries, which are this way. More than 55 countries. And we have staff who speaks in English, French, Italian, Portuguese, Mandarin, Chinese, Cantonese. Spanish is not written, but we also have Spanish speakers. So if you have any issues during your studies, you can ask a staff and there will always be someone to talk to you in the language you are confident in. Then our teaching methods for beginners, we have what we call the Ezoe method, which is a method used in our school, and it's a very unique method, which uses, instead of very detailed explanations, this kind of cards. Yes, this way, these kinds of cards, and it makes very easy to learn Japanese. And it's also being implemented in schools for deaf people in Japan. So yeah, it's definitely a very useful method. Also, we use unique language learning materials, which are made by our teachers. So it's really fitting the Ezoe method, and it goes from the beginner levels to the advanced levels. And we also have specific books for the business Japanese class and for the EJU preparation class, but I will talk about these classes just later. We also have, still for beginners, what we call Visual Learning Japanese, which is a program that you can use on your smartphones or tablets, basically on the go. You will use it in class, also after class. So you can use it on the go whenever you want, whenever you have time. So it's really convenient and practical. The course structure now, so for the beginner intermediate levels, you have two different courses. The one is the general course. So in order for you to acquire the skills to communicate fluently in Japanese, so basically practicing speaking, listening, also of course writing. Yes, and intensive program is more concentrated on the people who want to pursue education and studies in Japan, so in universities or vocational schools. So it will be a bit more quick than the general program. And then for the advanced class, you have kind of the same, a general program and a higher education program. So the general program is about improving your overall knowledge and proficiency. And yeah, so it's concentrated on conversational skills, while the higher education as the name says, concentrates on higher education, so reading, writing papers in Japanese, for example. We also have three different classes, which are not included in the course I just talked about. So the first one is the Tourism Business Japanese, which aims at learning the manners and the expressions about the hospitality business in Japan. So you will learn geographical terms, everything that's about tourism business. Then we have the Business Japanese class, which aims at learning honorifics, keigo, how to be polite, the business manners, how to exchange business cards and stuff like this. So it's very convenient if you want to search for a job in Japan afterwards. And finally, the teacher training. Is about learning how to teach Japanese using the other method. So if you are doing in your own country Japanese studies, and if you want to be a Japanese teacher, you can take this class and you will learn how to use the Ezoe method. I just see a question on YouTube from Zoe who asks if the intensive course is good for those person working in Japan. The intensive course, so in the beginner levels, it might be useful if you want to go a bit quicker. For the advanced classes, the intensive course is really about writing papers, like writing and reading skills. So I would say it's better to take the general course and as your last term take the Business Japanese class if you want to work in Japan afterwards. So now, yeah, I was just talking about the employment support, the business class, and we also have higher education and employment support. So if you have questions about which university is the best for me, or which kind of job can I achieve, or I would like to work in this field or this company, you have counseling for this. If you need to have help in writing resumes or cover letters, we can help you as well. We also have free AGU classes. So EJU is the examinations for Japanese universities. So it's the exams that foreigners take in order to enter a Japanese university as a regular student. So if you want to enter university, you have to take these exams, and we offer classes, for example, in math, in physics, etc. And yeah, you can prepare these exams in our school for free. And we also have, from time to time, universities who come to us and present their schools and their programs. So we also organize these kinds of seminars. I see a question. I'm interested in a scholarship. That's where we are going out. So we have a scholarship at SNG, which is for the students with excellent grades and perfect attendance rate. It's 20,000 yen a month for 6 months, and you can apply twice a year in April and October. And if it's for the students who will study for more than 6 months and really show their motivation to study Japanese. Yes, we also can introduce you to other organizations which provide scholarships, such as the JSO, the Kyoritsu International Foundation, or the Takayama International Education Foundation. So if you want to have more information, if you want to know if you meet the requirements, yeah, you can ask the staff, and we will gladly help you. Yeah. Apply for these scholarships. Then extracurricular activities. Yeah, I just see a message from Ulysses saying I would like to go to Osaka. Yeah, so we do extracurricular activities all around the year. As I said in the beginning, there are lots of events and lots of different things to experience. So depending on the seasons, Obon Festival, in summer, or in autumn we have a tea ceremony or a Mount Fuji hiking tour. So yeah, basically we offer lots of events the whole year round, where you can also like meet other students and sometimes as well meet Japanese people and try your best and use the Japanese skills you've acquired at school. So, for example, with primary students or during homestay programs, so you will be in a family. Yeah. So we have also Hokkaido and Okinawa homestays. So yeah, just ask us, and of course we will inform you during the year. So now the application period and course duration. So we have an April course that is 1 or 2 years, and the October course that is 1 year and 6 months. So 1 year, 6 months, not 1 year and 6 months, but it's one course, which is 1.5 years. So the application period for the April course will be from October to December this year. But if you want to apply for October, it's right now from until June. So we will let you know, we will send you the contact details just after. But you can apply right now for the 1 year, 6 months course. So once you've applied and given us the documents that are required for your application, we will apply for you for a certificate of eligibility, and the certificate of eligibility will come around February or March 2022 for the April course, or August, September for the October course. And then once you get your COE, you can go to your Japanese embassy in your own country and apply for a student visa. Then the admission would be in April 2022 for the April course, or on October the 7th, 2021 for this October session. And then the graduation happens, so 1 year after admission or 2 years after. And for October session, the graduation is 1.5 years after, so in March 2023, so that the students who want to go to a Japanese university can go and enter Japanese university in April, because the school starts in April in Japan. So here is the quick recap. So from now, October, it's from now, so that you can get your COE in August or September, enter the school in October, and then graduate in March 2023. I saw some questions about accommodation. So accommodation is not included in the school fees, but if you want help in searching for accommodation, we have some partners, which are students' dormitories, shared house, apartments, or homestay. So if you want help, feel free to contact us, and we can get you in contact with these organizations as well. So now I guess one of the topics that interests you the most, the COVID-19 situation. So I'll talk about the overall situation, then how it affects applications for the school and the school policies. So let's start with the overall situation. So the state of emergency, we are right now under the third state of emergency in Tokyo, which is scheduled to be until the end of this month. So it's concerning the border measures, the new entries of foreign nationals are not allowed now, so since January, but last year they were allowed from October until January, so we are crossing fingers. However, the Japanese language schools operate as usual, so we are still giving classes during this time. So regarding your application, the application for the school and the certificate of eligibility is not affected. So you can still apply, still send your documents. And yeah, there is no problem in this. The COE validity normally is 3 months. So you have 3 months once you get your COE to apply for a visa at your local embassy. But due to the crisis, the COEs has been extended, the validity has been extended. So there are some COEs from last year that are still valid today. So don't worry about that. The only step that is suspended and blocked is going to the embassy and apply for a visa. So you can still apply for the school. That's what I want you to remember. And then the school policy. We are still doing face-to-face classes, but of course students and staff wear masks, and also we check the body temperature at the school entrance every day. We're cleaning and sanitizing the classroom and all the facilities very regularly, and also we are shifting between online and face-to-face classes so that not all the students are in the school at the same time. So basically you would have a class online on Monday, a face-to-face on Tuesday, and then online, and so on. And also we have some students who applied to our school and couldn't, unfortunately, not enter Japan, and they follow online classes. So it's still possible to study even if you are blocked in your own country. So that's it for the presentations. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any questions, again, just write them in the chat. I saw a lot of questions coming. So yes, we will have a very short break, not even 30 seconds, and we will come back just after that. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Melanie. I'm joining you for this Q&A session. Thank you for everybody for joining us today. So we had a lot of questions on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you very much. We will try to reply to them now. So yeah, let's get started.
Yeah, thank you, Melanie. So the first question is, can I apply even if I have zero knowledge of Japanese?
Yes, good one. This is a good question. So as you just present with the slide, we are accepting all levels on Japanese. You can start if you have zero, if you are a beginner in Japanese, but it depends on your country and your background. Some countries will have to join a certificate of the GLPT N3 or at least 150 hours of learning Japanese before.
Okay, thank you. So depending on the countries, but basically yes.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, let's move to the next question.
We have a little problem with the slide, maybe. Okay.
Oh, it disappeared. Magic.
Disappeared. Yes. I was originally what? We will pass this one and we will go with the next slide. So
yes.
Okay, perfect.
Sorry. So, if the international borders are still closed, will the October admission be conducted in online classes? Thank you, Timothy, for this question.
From Timothy, right? Okay, then, so basically the classes are held in face-to-face classes, but yes, if there is a state of emergency, it could be maybe some class will be held online. But we are trying for our students to let them come to school and the most of time. So yes, for now we don't know how the situation will be in October, and if you are able to come to Japan, most of the classes will be held at school. But if there is a state of emergency or if the situation with the COVID will get worse in October, which we'll hope there will be not such a situation, but the classes will be held at school and not online.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, depending on the situation, but we're still doing classes. If it has to be online, it will be online.
Yes, depending on the situation in Tokyo, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next question. So I was originally supposed to arrive in April, but I was delayed due to coronavirus and again in July. If I arrive in October, can I still do the 2 years in person?
Okay.
In person.
Great question. So yes, typically, if you enrolled at the school in April, July, or October, you will still be able to do the courses as planned. So it means that your start will be delayed, but if you have a 1 year student visa, you will be able to stay 1 year. And if you have a 2 years visa as well, you can stay 2 years in Japan. So yes, this is not affecting the staying in Japan. It is just delaying the time you will come.
Okay, so no problem.
Yeah.
For this question. Okay, next move to. Can I take a level test before enrolling in the class from Samantha on YouTube?
Thank you, Samantha. So yes, sure. Before classes, so you will get enrolled at SNG, and during your admission, maybe something like 1 month before you come to Japan, you will have a level test to do online, which will take something like not even 1 hour, and we will know your level to get your classes and have the best suit for you. So if you have no history of learning Japanese, you don't have to take the test. Obviously, you will just start with the beginner level. But if you have an history of learning Japanese, if you have somewhat like an intermediate level or advanced level even, you have a test online plus a 15 minutes interview online or in presence if you are in Japan with your teacher.
Okay, so yeah, basically it's mandatory.
Yes, it is. It is. We have to know your level to know which classes will be best suit for you.
Okay, thank you. Next question is, can I apply if I have zero knowledge of Japanese? I think
think
we've
we had this
also
question again.
seen. So it's yes.
So yes, you can, but it depends on the country.
It
So
depends. Yes,
yes,
exactly.
the immigration is requiring for you to have a GLPT N5 or 150 hours of Japanese learning before, but it depends on the country. So just ask us on the comment or by mail if you want to know more about your country.
Yes, contact details will come just after this.
Yes.
And are there age limits to apply?
Yes, there was a lot of question about the age limits, and I am glad to tell you that no, we don't have any age limits to join the school. So you will have to get your high school, the secondary education finished at first, but there is no age limits. You can come at SNG if you are 70. We had a student which is 70 right now. This is an Italian Oji-san, which is really nice, and he loves learning Japanese. So no limits. Come to
Everyone
SNG.
welcome.
Yes.
Okay. Is the TOEFL necessary to enter Japanese university?
Okay, good question. So most of you are, I think, fluent in English. So maybe this question is not concerning everyone, but yes, depending on the university, some university will ask for you to have the TOEFL, which is the base to just understand the course content, but not the TOEFL, but for the EGU, if you know the exam, this EGU will be the base to join university in Japan more than the TOEFL itself. So this is an exam where you can learn some basic subject like mathematics and history and Japan society.
Okay. So yeah, again, depending on the universities.
Yes.
And yeah, just ask the higher education department when you're in the school. So, may I work with a student visa? Yeah, very important question, I guess, for some people.
Yes, exactly. Sure, you can have a part-time job when you are a student in Japan. Maybe it will be very useful for those who wants to have some like money and experience in Japan while living here. So yes, you can, but just do not forget that students must study in Japan, and you will not have the possibility to work a lot of time. So this is for 1 week. I'm sorry, for 1 week, the government requires you to not overdo 28 hours of work by week. Then for the school itself, we do not recommend you to start a part-time job when you come to Japan directly. So it will be maybe better to how do you say, accommodate yourself, dive into the culture, and just learn and be used to your new life in Japan, to your new studies, and then after maybe a term, so 3 months or 4 months, start to do a part-time job to gain more money or just for the experience on working in Japan.
Okay, so possible, but yeah, just be careful.
Exactly.
Yeah. Next question now. When will student visa holders be able to enter Japan?
Yes, I think most of you are, yes, very concerned about that. So student visa holder we don't have the this information yet, but as Fabian just told you just before, the COVID situation is changing, and last year, for example, even if tourists couldn't come to Japan, the immigration and the government opened the country for people who didn't have a student visa with them. And even though the embassy in several countries also have been authorized to issue new student visa. So it was between, you told that before, between October and January this year, there was a breach. I don't know how to say that, but the students could come to Japan with a new student visa. So we are hoping that during the summer or before October term, the government will reopen the border, at least for students who hold a student visa or for new student visa, before the tourists can come to Japan.
Okay, thank you. So yeah, we wish we knew. We're crossing fingers.
Yeah.
Next question: Are classes given face to face or online?
So yes, we just mentioned that a little bit before. Classes are held face to face for most of the time, but obviously when the situation gets a little bit like if the Tokyo government is asking for schools to reduce the students at the school, we will follow the measures and we will switch online, but not entirely. We will just ask some students to come to school and the other to stay at home and watch the class online. But mainly the class are held face to face.
Okay. Now, next question is, which documents are necessary to apply for SNG? I guess there are a lot of them.
Yes, a lot. So the immigration is requiring a lot of documents for you to get the certificate of eligibility, which is mandatory to get your student visa. But mainly the documents who are necessary are your diplomas, the financial document from your guarantor, and you can be your own guarantor for your studies, but we will need some official documents who are proving that you can just support yourself for your study in Japan. So this is the two main documents we will need for your application. And for the rest, this is some details. You can just send us an email or just look at the homepage of the school to have more details on the documents.
Okay, so basically something proving the education level and the financial means.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. Next question is, do I have to be vaccinated in order to enter Japan?
Good question. Yeah, there is a lot of news about that as in America or in maybe your country, the vaccination is going well. In Japan, this is not the case right now, but we don't have any guidelines for the government about the vaccination or a vaccination passport to be able to enter Japan. So at the moment, there is no such guidelines from the government, but we are waiting for maybe an update. So we will keep you informed about that.
Yeah, as soon as we have information, we just send
Yes.
worldwide.
Yes.
If my COE has expired, my certificate of eligibility has expired, what should I do? Do I have to apply again?
Good question. So yes, during this year there is a lot of waiting about students who already get the certificate of eligibility. So for now, the certificate of eligibility you are in hand is still okay to use. The government and the immigration extend the original 3 months of a valid period until July 31, I think, yes, 31. So for now, we don't know yet if the immigration and the government will extend the validity period one more time, or if we will have to apply again, or if the certificate of eligibility will just expire. But be reassured that if we have to apply again, the immigration is accepting, how can I say that easy easy application, and we will only need one picture. So we will keep you informed about that, but it was the case during this year when COE has expired. It was just with easy reapplication with previous information and just a new picture of the student. So the immigration is like, they know that there is a lot of students waiting and a lot of certificates who will expire, so they will probably update this very soon. We will keep you informed too.
Okay, yeah, so please stay in contact with the school.
Yes.
And yeah, we'll give you all the necessary information.
Exactly.
So, if I apply for the October session, may I enter Japan?
So yes, this is the main question,
Yeah.
right? And for now, we don't know exactly when you will be able to enter Japan. If you apply in October session by now, so the application is right now until June 15, we hope that you will be able to enter Japan by September. But for now, we don't have any news from the government. We are waiting for them to, and it is more likely that the student visa holder will be able to come to Japan before tourists and before other visa holders. So yes, patience.
Patience is
but
the key word.
yeah, this is a keyword, but obviously the government also know that, and we will keep you informed, and it is more likely that it will be okay for the end of the year, or at least the beginning of next year.
Yeah, I just see a question from Tony. Is this stream being recorded to review after? Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. So you can watch this again from the beginning if you missed the presentation.
Yes.
So move on to the next question. What happens if I cannot enter Japan?
There is a lot of
Yeah,
question about that. So if you cannot enter Japan right now, let's say you are enrolling to the school and you cannot enter Japan when you are supposed to. So there will be three main propositions we can do, we can suggest for you. The first one will be to start your program online from abroad. So it will be start learning Japanese, but it will not affect the period you can stay in Japan. So you will have only to, get longer studies if you want to learn Japanese and work after in Japan or pursue in higher education. So the first one will be online classes, and the second option will be to just wait in your country until the borders open. So we will just set everything for you. We will prepare everything for you to come to Japan, and once the embassy will have the go to issue new student visa, and when the borders will reopen, you will be able to come through Japan directly. So yes, stay in your country, wait for the borders to reopen, and get your plane ticket as soon as you can to come when the borders reopen. This is the second plan.
Okay, thank you, Melanie. And next, let's move to the next question, which is 1 year and 6 months enough to go from N4 to N2 level?
Good question. Really good question. So basically, with the study at SNG, you will be able on 1 year and a half to go from the N4 to the N2. You will have classes every day for 3.5 hours. You will have a lot of homeworks, a lot of kanji to learn. So if you are going to the intensive program, you will have a level between the N2 and the N1 of the GLPT. If you go with the slow pace general program, you will be more concentrated, as Fabien just said earlier, on the conversation on the practical Japanese. So maybe you may have to work on your kanji studies by yourself a little bit more, and the readings obviously, but yes, you will be able to have a level of the GLPT N2 by 1 year and a half.
Okay, so yes, with work, it's possible. I mean, work.
Yes, it
studies.
is.
Studies.
And I should also add that we are offering some GLPT preparation course at the school, so it will be optional. It will be on the weekend, but you can obviously prepare with other students to pass the GLPT N3 from the N3 level to the N1 level. So yes, we can challenge the tests together at school.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. And let's move to the next question, which is there any online class for complete beginners?
Sure, there is. So yes, we are also offering online classes. This is completely another service we are offering. There is online classes for complete beginner, and if you want to, how do you say, have classes every day and not just two or once in the week, we also will be able to offer complete online classes for those who are waiting to come to Japan, obviously. So yes, we are planning to do that maybe from October if you can enter Japan, or in July for those who want to start their studies.
Okay, so yes, there are. Next question is, I've only done high school. Can I still apply?
Great question. Great question. So yes, if you finished your secondary education, you can apply at SNG. So the basics is 12, I think, yes, 12 years on the secondary education from primary school to high school. And there is maybe some of you who came from country that this is only 11th years of secondary education. For those who are concerned about that, just know that the schools is offering preparation university classes, which will give you the last year to be able to apply to university in Japan. So for those of you who are concerned about the fact that there are only 11 years of education and they cannot go pursue higher education in Japan, just know that by coming to SNG, which is a preparatory classes for those who want to go to higher education, you will have the last year by just studying for 1 year. Plus, we are also offering AGU classes for free. So you will be well prepared to go to the university or vocational school in Japan for those who want to, I don't know, maybe learn about animation or maybe game.
For example, yes.
For example, yeah.
Yeah. So only high school is fine.
Only high school is fine.
So yeah.
And I can see on the commentary that those of you who have a degree in biomedical engineering, we will reply in the comment or maybe by mail, but even with degree or PhD, obviously you can join SNG too.
Yes, you're very welcome. So let's move to the next question, which is, that's a long one.
Whoa.
I'm studying and working on a part-time job at the same time. I will have enough to live in Japan. The salary is enough to live in Tokyo, or would I need a full-time job? Oh, you mean, I guess, a full-time job right now in order to say I can live in Japan?
Okay, so in order to live in Japan, let's say that in order to live in Japan, the immigration is requiring you to have in your bank account something like 1.5 million yen, which is something like 10,000 US dollar. So I don't know what is you're saving right now, but this is the basics for you to get your certificate of eligibility for us to apply for you and get your certificate of eligibility to come to Japan. So if you have less than that, please just contact us and we will see what we can do for you. But generally speaking, you can have a part-time job but not a full-time job in Japan. So you will have, if you are your own sponsor, you will have to get the money before coming to Japan.
Okay.
I hope it answers the question. I'm sorry.
Yes, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I hope it helps. Yeah, if you have like further questions, just send us an email. We will send you again the contact details just after the Q&A session. So let's move to the next question. Is it possible to reach the N2 level? Yes,
We already,
we already
yes,
have
we already
answered this
replied
question.
question
It's,
answer. We're
yes,
sorry. So yes, it is possible. It is possible.
yes. Does the one-year course include kanji classes?
Sure, it is. So during your study, you will have like a schedule every week about what you will study at SNG, and you will study grammar, you will study kanjis, you will study video. But maybe, Fabian, you can tell us more about that as you were a student at
Yes,
SNG.
yes, because actually I was a student here before working at the admission center here. So yes, there are kanji classes. You will learn kanji like every day, have to learn kanji every day, be tested very regularly. So yes, there are kanji classes, and yeah, basically it's very important as well to be able to read Japanese. So yes, there are kanji classes.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So let's move to the next question. After finishing the course in Japan, can I apply for a job and work in Japan?
So it will depend on your level of education in your own country. So basically you can. But let's say that you want to get a sponsor from a company. To do that, you will have to get a bachelor degree in your country before coming to Japan, or maybe after your study at SNG, get a bachelor degree in Japan. So this is the basics to get sponsor, or maybe if you have more than 10 years of experience in your own country about this field, you can also get a sponsor in Japan. So two conditions. The first one is a bachelor degree to get a sponsor from the company, or 10 years of previous experience in that field. This is for the most well-known working visa in Japan. If you have a degree or a special how do you say discipline, like you are a chef or you are an artisan, you do something like a creative job, or you are a journalist, or you are an expert in your field, then the requirements are different, and you should ask maybe the immigration, or just see the condition on the immigration page. This is kind of different, but this is just for a minority. If you just have the bachelor degree, it will be okay after the course. Plus, I should add that some company will ask you to have at least the GLPT N2 to get a job. So yes, you should at least have a bachelor degree and the GLPT N2. I think yes.
Yeah, I think that answers the question.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. Let's move to the next question. If we go, do we stay in dorms or at the institute, or we have to rent an apartment or something?
So it depends on what you want for when you live in Japan. You can choose between share house, dorm, or even apartment. Or you can also do it on stay if you want during your studies. So it will depend on which kind of life you want in Japan. If you want to stay by yourself, or if you want to go on share house and just share your living and your new experience here in Japan with other people. So it will really depend on what you want for your experience, right? And you can change. Obviously, you can change if after 6 months you want to stop staying in a dorm, but you want to experience life with a Japanese family. You can do an upstay too.
Yeah, yes, I see a comment from Juan Pablo saying it depends on what you can afford.
Yes,
Yeah,
also
basically
too. Yeah, this is a great comment.
as well. Yeah.
Yes. So for the share house, which will be the maybe cheaper and affordable stay in Japan, it will be something like 50,000 yen per month, which is something like $500 per month. So yeah, it really depends on what you want and what you can afford, obviously.
Yes. Also, I just add that we, like, SNG doesn't have like a SNG dorm. We have like partnerships with organizations that provide dorms, but we don't have like the SNG owned dormitory. if that was the question as well. Yes.
Thank you.
So let's move to the next question now, which is what level is the ideal minimum for moving on to vocational school after completing the course?
So the ideal minimum for moving to a vocational school, maybe you are implying the Japanese level, I think.
Yes, I guess so,
So
yeah.
for the Japanese level, it will depend on the vocational school. From most of them, the courses will be held in Japanese. So you will probably have either the AGU to pass or maybe the GLPT to pass before apply to the school. The minimum should be between the N3 and the N2, at least to understand what the course is, obviously. So yes, maybe between those of two, which will be able to get by coming to the school, obviously.
Yes.
Oh, and I should also add that we have counselor office, which will help you to get prepared for your interview and to get your resume and all the paper done for your application to the vocational school or university in Japan. So be assured about that.
Yes, thank you, Melanie. Let's go to the next question, which is the career preparation class done separately from the Japanese class, or how long will the career preparation class be? I guess it's the business class, which is implied here.
So for the business class or the tourism business class, let's say that you have each term you will pass on the next level, right? But as when you will get the intermediate 2 level, you can choose either to go on advanced level or maybe to go to business classes, business tourism classes, or the training program. So once when you get how do you say, the basics of Japanese to understand the courses and more specified field, you can choose between those 3 options. And it will be offer like a term. So this is exactly the same program that you will have before. You will have classes either on the evening or the morning, 3.5 hours per day. And you will just learn more about tourism, business, or the training session. So this is not in class. This is, how do you say?
A separate.
Yes, exactly. This is
course.
like, yes, exactly.
Yeah, and I've personally taken the business class. So yeah, I would recommend to take the normal course and go as far as you can. And then for the last term, to take the business class or the tourism business class, depending on your interest. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yes.
So let's move to the next question now, which is
Ooh.
a long
Long
one.
question, yes.
Yes, but we like long questions.
Yes.
So hi, I'm located in the US. Would those classes in Japanese time or Pacific time? Also, are those classic live and interactive? And the assessment tests, are there any assessments tests to determine what class to take?
Okay, this is more than one question.
Yes,
but yes,
that's
we will respond to
a set.
to that. So first one, sure, the classes are held from Japan, from Tokyo, so it will be the Japan time. And for the classes we live enter it class, yes, it will be live classes like this presentation, but we will hold the classes on Zoom or Meet classes, right? And for the assessment, I think that we already responded that, but yes, sure, you will be a level test to determine your level to get a better suit for your class. If you are a complete beginner, you don't have to do the test. You will only have to take a 15-minute interview with a teacher to know more about what you want to do. If you want to go to general classes or intensive classes, what is your goal by learning Japanese and so on. I can, so yes, I hope that answered the question. There is only 5 minutes left, I think, for the Q&A session. Thank you very much for joining us. We are sorry for all the questions we cannot reply. If you have some more questions, please inquire by mail. We will be happy to reply
Yeah,
to you.
I
Yes.
will pass. I will then pass the questions very quickly, or I haven't finished college. Yes, can I apply? You'd better probably finish college, but you can still apply. You have
Yeah.
high school diploma normally, so yes. Latino from Venezuela lives in Peru. Can I have a scholarship? Yeah, I guess it depends.
It depends,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
You
but
have
you'd better send us an email,
yes.
I guess. Short-term course from October.
Oh, there is short-term courses, but you for now this is kind of complicated because there is no visa available. So
Yes.
if you are already in Japan, yes, you can join. You can join online too, but obviously the short-term program are kind of like you cannot come to Japan right now. So this is complicated. Yes.
Yeah, and
And this is the end, I
yeah, that's
think.
it for the questions.
Perfect.
Yes. So as I said, the email address to contact us just right next to me. So it's gzen@sng.ac.jp. It will be sent in the comments.
Yeah.
And also the link for the survey was shared in the chat. If you complete the survey, you can get some content about some presentation about the Ezoe method, which is used for beginners levels at our school. So yes, thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you very much.
And yes, thank you very much for coming to this live.
Can I have the link to apply? Yes, we will send you the link in the comments.
Yeah, or just send an email to Gizen. Yeah,
Gizen,
you can
yes.
send an email. We also, yes, share the link in the comments where you can just, there is a form you can fill in with your information so that we can do the screening.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
The screening process, and we will be able to tell you if you are eligible for the certificate of eligibility and your student visa.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
I think this is
Yeah,
yes,
that
almost time.
it concludes the presentation. Thank you, Melanie, again
Thank
for
you,
answering
Fabian.
these
Thank you, everyone,
questions.
for joining us today.
Yeah,
I hope
thank you.
we replied some of your concerns and questions.
Yes, yeah.
If you have more, please send us an email. And if you have 2 minutes, we will greatly appreciate if you can just fill the form that you can have
find
on
in
the
the
comments.
comments.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Crypto. Thank you, Samantha. Thank you, Eric.
Thank
Arigatou
you.
gozaimashita. ちょっとジャパニーズでね。はい。
Thank you very much.
ありがとうございました。
Goodbye.
バイバイ。
ありがとうございました。
Bye. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Bye bye. Thank you.